said you've been out here doing pods since 2018?
Yeah, for sure. 2018.
What pods? I feel like you said you don't remember, but like I feel like not a lot of people were hip to pods in 2018.
Oh man, I mean I've done joints for like on DJ Dirty Die joint. We were just talking about 7-5 Junction.
Okay, Sherm joint. I know Sherm. He kind of, I think he like stopped for real, but
yeah, I was just talking about that. Like I hope he get back into it because he had something crazy going. It was just early. He was really early.
He was
to
early.
The like.
He was probably the first pod I've seen around here for real.
Yeah, like I feel like if he was still going now, he would be monetized and.
I think with Sherm, what happened is he has his other channel, the Reanimated.
Right.
That started going up, and he started making money off of that.
And
so I think he
like,
just started focusing on that
one instead of. But his pod was actually one of my favorite pods. I mean, I've done, like you got the virtual pods and all that too, like the ones where you just online. I've done a lot of. When COVID happened, I was still doing mad online joints from doing stuff with, Rob Markman. Like doing stuff with him and Damian Lillard and Sway and
Sway in the morning.
Yeah, Sway.
What'd you do with Sway?
Man, he had a during COVID, everybody online. Like everybody online, we can't be in person anymore. So now we have to pod online and all these joints. So I did his. I forgot the name of the joint he did, the segment that it was called during that time.
But was it like a freestyle segment or like an interview?
Like both. At once. I did that thing where he actually asked me to come do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I need you to come hop on this tonight because you hard. Like, he heard me somewhere else.
It wasn't the 5 Fingers of
Nah, it
Death
was like,
joint?
it was the joint. It was just for COVID. Like, I got to remember the name of it. Like,
I've probably seen it, but I forgot.
Yeah, I can't. I don't want to, like, I think it was called Bedroom Bars.
Bedroom Bars. That's
because everybody was at the crib, something like that. Like, I want to say, don't quote me, but I'm confident. Bedroom Bars, I believe it was called. But I did that with him a few times, and then, like, I do a lot of interviews and stuff. I haven't been doing them lately. I kind of fell back the past couple of years simply because I was it was like redundant.
Doing the interviews?
After, like, because I've done, those are the ones I mentioned, let me speak on this. The ones I mentioned are the ones that were dope and I like.
Okay.
The ones I say I've done a lot, I have done many in between. And some of them were just getting redundant as far as like I just did one and you asking me the same information. And I get it. You're supposed to plug certain things like on like when you got a music push, but the content of the other stuff was just like, nah, I'd rather just chill until I can do something where we can have some fun. So you're my first pod in like, it's 2024. I think the last time I did a pod was probably like probably like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I took a break.
That's what I love about pods. It's just like a authentic, like organic conversation. It's not really, well, to me, like the ones I like, it's not really super structured. It's not like we had to talk about this or this or this. I feel like coming up, especially like rapper interviews I saw, it would always feel like you're watching an interview with a rapper and somebody and like the rapper doesn't want to be there.
Facts.
So that always just
and you can
felt
feel
weird.
It and you can see it. I think, matter of fact, I can remember the last two I did. And those two I actually like, so I can remember the last two. It was Juice with Jade, something like that. Jade, she's a dope pod, like, brand person. She on the South Side. We did a joint, I think it's called Juicing with Jade or Jade with the Juice, something like that.
Was she making like juicing, like smoothie juice?
Well, we drink like, it's you drink like a smoothie juice, whatever you kind of bring, you got to have it. Like, that's part of the aesthetic. It's like, what we drinking on while we do this pod. You know what I'm saying? So she lets you bring or get whatever you want. She can provide it for you, but you pick what you want to drink during the pod. That was actually a dope joint. I'm mad I can't remember that one. And then the last one I did was like, I think the Good MILF podcast.
That sound fire.
That was lit. That joint was fun.
It's a bunch of MILFs just hosting it.
It was just one. She's a MILF. One MILF. And she was amazing. She definitely was the reason that I said no to a lot of podcasts after that, because the one we did was so good and the way that it flowed. She had done her research. Like, a lot of these ones, when they want you to come up and talk about your music and stuff, and they don't do the research about your music, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? But she had did so much research, and it was just like she did the background work to know like what kind of organizations I was in. So for her pod and what she likes to get off in her pod, she did the work to ask me the questions to get answers I never did anywhere else. And that's when I realized like doing pods where people want to speak on like the art, I was like, hey, we got to send me the questions ahead of time. Because if we talking about like, if you want to specifically talk about like this or that, it's like, send me ahead of time, because I don't want to just be sitting here like,
have time to figure out like what you want to
say.
Like,
or like that, or that is like, not even have time to figure, because I always know what to say, for real, it comes. But it's the fact that like, I don't want to give people, like, your fans and supporters, they following you where you go. So when they come here to see what we talking about, they want to see something I haven't talked about on another one or another one. And it's like, at least do the kind of research to see, like you asked me, when last time you did a pod? Or like, it's your first pod. You're asking me that so you know even how to approach it. Like, you're looking at the distance of, all right, well, I know for sure she ain't done one in like 2 years. So I can focus on, like, give me a little bit of this, but whatever. You're doing the research already in your mind to, like, see where you want to approach me. But a lot of them just want to ask you about, because they see you got a feature with this person, like, just the same story over and redundant. And then after that story is over, they have nothing else to like guide me. I feel like I'm guiding them.
I think that just goes back to kind of like the interview style we came up on. And like, we thought that's just what it was. You're going to see your favorite artists go on all these different platforms, talk about the same exact things.
Over and over.
And even though we just didn't know better. We're like, this is what it is.
True.
But then we get older, and as time goes on, you see these other types of shows and pods come out, and you see how it can be done. It's like, okay, I might like this formula better.
And I'm heavy on doing it my own way.
Okay.
And once we realize like we can do it our own way, it's like, why would we go back to a robotic way when there's freedom? Like, because it's not that it was just robotics back then. It was like redundancy of robotics. Like, this is what we do because this is what we're supposed to do. But then,
or at least this is what we think we're supposed to do.
What we're told, actually. It's really like, this is what we're told we're supposed to do when we do this art or this craft or whatever. But now we got to a point where we have the freedom of doing our own things. I don't care what nobody say. Music and streaming opened up the world to see that there's a different way. I'm not even a fan of. I'm an artist and I'm not a fan of streaming. I'm not, because we don't make money off of it. We really don't. It look good. The numbers look good, but ain't no money in it. But
I can't even believe the numbers for real.
Like the numbers now aren't real for most people. Like, you got the bots, you buying playlists, plays, and all that stuff. It's awkward, but I like what the streaming world did for the creative, like, entire creative industry, in my opinion. The moment it came in, everybody was against it. And they thought people were going to fight it in a different way. But the artists learned, like, do it my own way. Like, figure out what works for me with this world. And with that, we see the conversation spreading across everything, where now, like, everybody's realizing, like, this is a standard, but it don't have to be my standard. Like, I can still do this art in my way. Like,
yeah, the streaming and really just the internet.
Yeah, it
made it possible for independent people to do it their own way. Because before that, it's the system, it's the industry. It's you have to conform to these rules, to this standard of doing things to even be included.
Every time.
You couldn't just do what you want to do.
Every time. And for me, like, I've been doing this thing so long that I was able to watch the people that jumped in to do it the way that they were told to do it and follow the rules and then end up like saying like, nah, I don't want to do this no more. But I was very diligent to my own plan. Can I see your light?
Yeah, for sure.
I was very diligent to my own plan, to the aspect of like, I don't care how long it takes or what the process is. I'm going to do it where I'm not bothered in 10 years by anything I did. Like each 10 years, I like to look back 5 to 10 years, like, all right, what did you do? Are you bothered to your core by anything that you did? Like,
as long as you can be happy looking back on it, it doesn't even matter the quote unquote success
of it, as long as it doesn't bother me, man. Like, as long as it doesn't bother me. And I like that. And that's why I say, like, even with not making money from streaming, I like it because it allows you to not make mistakes in a certain way. Think about it. When we only had CDs, you put that CD out, if it's a song you didn't like, it's there forever. On that same record. Now we have the ability to post a whole album and then say, oh, that one song, I don't want it up there anymore.
We spoke about it on the pod. Like, that's what Kanye did with The Life of Pablo. There was like literally like 5, 6 versions of that album.
And he could literally change it to the version that he liked the best. And that's no matter what, whoever got the other stuff out there, when you look up that album, all you're gonna see is the version that he likes.
The newest one, the one that he likes. Maybe we can start there. So I usually discover people for like to come on the show like on Instagram, social media. But I discovered in like a real life. I forgot which event it was at. I've seen you perform at a few events, and I was like, yo, she's crazy. That's really what made me want to talk to you. And I think the last one was at. Remember Kello had threw that thing? It was like Kello and Friends. It was that spot where it was like a kind of like a balcony, like upstairs type thing. It was like a live band.
The Art House.
Maybe Art House.
Was it? No.
It was like Kello and Friends, I think it was called.
I was just on the phone with Kello too. It's crazy.
I was too.
It was on the ocean front.
Might have been Norfolk, actually. I think it was on Granby Street.
I thought it was on ocean front. The Kello and Friends.
He throws a lot of shows. You're talking about the one where that's another one with another upstairs. I know what you're talking about.
The one
too.
in the back, like upstairs in the back. All right. So
either way, though, it was one of Kello's shows. I was like, yo, you went crazy. That's really what got
matter
me
of fact,
interested
you know what? It wasn't even a Kello and Friends. It was Neon Fest. He was the host of the event.
I think you're right.
It was Neon Fest at Soiree. We was gonna get that right. Soiree. We was gonna get that right. Yeah. We got y'all. We're not gonna let Soiree out.
So I just seen you like on the scene performing, just doing your thing. I was like, yo, she's fire. Maybe we can start there. Like, do you want to just tell us a little bit about, because you've been doing shit out here for a while.
Yeah.
Just coming up a little bit, how you even got into doing like creative stuff.
Oh shit. I was always creative. Like, the moment that I understood what creative was, I knew that I was creative. So as a kid, I was one of those kids that wrote short stories. I played basketball. Basketball was the first love before music. That was the first love. It was like basketball. I thought I was gonna be the first girl in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like I really thought I was gonna go to the NBA.
The first girl in the NBA. Okay.
I thought I was for real. Like every woman basketball player really aspires to that, no matter what they say. You like, yo, I'm gonna be good enough to play in the league with the guys. That's the ultimate goal, because you want to be equal. So that was the goal.
The WNBA is popping right now, though. It's going crazy.
For the fact WNBA been popping, I've been watching WNBA since season 1. Like the WNBA been this nice. It's just I appreciate the NCAA for doing its job, allowing NILs to allow these kids to be more popular. So now when they leave the NIL,
what's that?
It's basically they can, college kids can never make money.
Okay, and they changed that now, right?
Right, that's
now
what the NIL deals. You're allowed to get
and
sponsorships for yourself and make money. So those sponsorships allowed these kids to be more famous. These young women became famous because of not only playing basketball, but those sponsorships that they had. You see in their face all the time now.
And that's also bringing popularity back to the sport.
To the whole sport. So now the NCAA women getting more love than the NCAA men, and then they graduate. And the beautiful part about the WNBA is that the season, like, you get drafted while you're still in college. They're still in their season starts so close to the end of college that the draft is during the time frame while they're still in college. So the moment they graduate, they go straight to like training camp. So now, like what happened right now, you got to think about it. Season was over in April, but the WNBA season has already started. So all of that energy is just right. You had like a month and a half, 2 months before they started playing. So it's a really good look. And it is popping now. I'm just glad that the world catching it. I feel like it's popping to the world.
Well, I know probably girls were more hip on it. I feel like more men are watching it.
More men, like men that watch the W, because I'll give the men the credit too. Men were watching, but it was men who were really like basketball athletes. I wouldn't say that like somebody who was a football player would watch the W typically. But it was like men that played ball, they watch it because they understand like basketball. And women play basketball the way basketball is supposed to be played. So men that play basketball, they appreciate it. But now it's like I'm seeing baseball players post about the WNBA, and like I'm on Revolt and they're posting about the places that I'm like, they showing clips of the WNBA, and I'm like, this is amazing.
And what did it take? It took probably like these like few viral moments that these girls had, and even now I think there's like they're trying to start beef between some of the girls. I don't really care for that.
Rivalries, man.
But it takes like viral moments.
But even with the rivalries, I ain't mad at it. Like I look at Angel Reese and like Caitlin Clark, like that's
a big one right now.
That's like, to me, that's like Larry Bird and like Magic Johnson. It's needed.
Who's the best player in the WNBA right now? Is that like who do people say?
It's like I feel like Asia Wilson is continuously been the best player in the W, but there's so many because of them having a short amount of teams. It's like 13 teams now.
Versus what in the NBA?
The NBA got like 32,
okay,
something like that, if I'm correct. And it's still 12 technically that are playing. They just added a new team for the W in Golden State, so they won't start till next season.
Okay.
But because you only got like 12 teams, you got to distribute a lot of dope players within a small amount of teams. You can't even cap like over 15 on your roster. You know what I'm saying? And you got players that are really good getting cut. Like women that are great are getting cut because there's not enough room now because there's so many great players and it's like the attention here and now it's like you don't even have the room. So I'm praying now for more expansion in it. Like everybody got their eyes on it. Like NBA need to feed the W a little
More
bit. Give them some
teams.
more. Give them more teams. Like to at least like by 2030, like if we can get by 2030 to get the W to 20 teams.
You're the first person I've heard say the W too. That's
What. But see, I'm a hooper. Like ain't nobody got time to be saying the WNBA. That takes a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like that's actually the logo for the WNBA. Yo, Dub, come on, man. I've been trying to get with y'all. Like y'all see this off the world. We talking about y'all. Come get us.
Come on.
But I've been trying, man. I got some big things, some big aspirations. I'll tell y'all off camera. We can't say it on camera because somebody might try to do it. The same thing I'm doing.
What do you think about the Buns and Basketball League? You hip to that?
I actually.
I'm trying to get the owner up here.
I'm gonna be honest. I watched. I think it's cool. I'm not against it in a sense. Like they be hooping in a way, I guess. It's like I look at it like the W is the W. Buns and basketball is like rec league.
For sure.
That's the best way. It's still relevant. You got like adult rec leagues and stuff to this day. You know, like people play every day. They like, yo, I want me and my team. We playing at the center today. You know, adult league. So I'll just say it's like a feminine woman adult league, and everybody's welcome in basketball. And maybe that's helping people be like, all right, maybe I want to watch some real basketball from women. So it's, you know, duality, I guess. Duality.
So you coming up, you're into basketball. You want to be the first woman in the W, or in the NBA,
and I want to be in the NBA. Yeah. I love to the dub, but I wanted to be in the NBA. You know, man, I played ball at Phoebus High School. That's where I graduated from. I went to college in North Carolina. I don't even want to drop their name because they made me mad. So, but I played ball in North Carolina a little bit.
Oh, so you played college ball then?
A little bit, man. I ain't dropping their name.
Okay.
But
what was your degree? I guess
it was a different kind of experience where I went to college. I come from all black people all the time. Like I grew up on the South Side, and then like came to this side in Hampton when I was like 11, 12. So I grew up around a lot of black people. And then I went to like college around like a school where outside of the athletes there were only 13 black people that chose to go to the school. Like, so the whole school, if you were black, you were an athlete.
Okay.
And I'm in North Carolina. It's a different atmosphere in the country. I'm in the sticks. So it's a different atmosphere in general. Like, coming from where we from, I don't have to deal with certain things. If you do that, and I have the right to check you and feel comfortable checking you. But where we were, it was like, if you check, you know what I'm saying, a white person for stepping out of line, like, no, just let it ride. Let's just go home type thing. So it was an awkward area. But I did enjoy going like outside of the area. That's where I got tapped into Charlotte because we were like maybe like 45 minutes from Charlotte. So I started spending a lot of time in Charlotte. So that's where like the love for North Carolina came. But I ended up coming back home and started coaching basketball, like working with like the city of Hampton, coaching basketball. I did that for a while. I was making music at the same time. Yeah, like, so I was coaching, working with little kids, like working with kids from the age of like 4 to 17 for the city of Hampton, but coaching high school and like a men's adult league at the same time. Very diverse. Women's basketball in high school, and then like coaching the males adult league team at like 19, 20.
The males Buns and Basketball League?
No, my men's team was crazy. I had the youngest men's team in the league. Some of my adult league team was still in high school. And like we went all the way to the championship, won it. They were sick. Like you got a 19, I was like 19 or 20 coaching in a men's league where these men were like 35 and they don't expect we come in and win. So that's when I realized like I love coaching. I still was hooping all the time, but I knew I didn't think that it was that I wanted to do anymore that way. And so I
What
thought
was it, what was it you liked about coaching?
I always understood the game. Like I was nice, but I always saw it like the whole thing, like where I could tell my teammates I played point guard, shooting guard, all that, but I could tell the center like, yo, if you do this, you gonna get them. So it's like once you get older, you start realizing if you can see the whole game, you're a coach. You know what I'm saying? You're a coach. So I started coaching, and at the same time, I'm working with like leading a bunch of kids. So I'm always like in leadership, in a sense. And I'm making music on the side. I realized I could make music when I was in college. Like,
so you started making music in college?
In a way. I realized I could rap in college. I knew I could rap for real my whole life, on God. But when I actually gave it to the public was in college. I never rapped to the public. I would only rap like my brother knew I could rap, my mom knew I could rap, and a couple aunties knew I could rap. But when I went to college, I was broke. And they said that they was making money by freestyling in the back room, and the winner got the money of the pot. I'm a college athlete. I'm broke. I want that money. So let me go in this room and battle these dudes and kill them real quick and take this bread.
At this majority white college.
Right. So it's all athletes in the room because it's all, you know what I'm saying, black dudes in the room. And
they didn't have any white people out there freestyling?
A couple, but they were more for like the deliberation time. You know what I'm saying? Like while the judges are like, yo, who winning? Like they trying to figure out like who gonna get the money.
Intermission
yeah, so it'd be like one of the like lacrosse players that start freestyling or something like right after beer pong. They didn't win a game, so now it's like, oh yeah, let me rap about it, brother. Oh, so yeah, you get those moments, but I realized I could rap then. Like I'm like, all right, I can get this money. So I started being able to make money that way. Like just battling people. So then I come back home and it's the same thing. I'm just freestyling, rapping and at the parties. Started with like battle rapping too, like, and I changed from that quickly.
Was there, because I know there's a few actual like battle rap leagues right now that exist out here in Richmond. So was there like leagues at that time, or you're just doing like at some party type shit?
In our area back then, there were small joints, but it wasn't like it is now. I wasn't on the leagues. We were just like in parties like that. That was just what I was known for. It was like, if you want to battle, like meet up, we'll battle.
What year is this?
Man, I don't even want to tell my age. This is like,
okay,
I'll say like, shit, I don't even know for real. Like, it's like 2008, 7, 8 type joint. So that was it, like that. But I'm still like putting music to the side. So I'm working, and that wasn't it. It was just like I thought I was gonna do coaching, all that stuff. Had the opportunity to go coach. And took a decision to like, nah, I'm gonna do this music stuff. Like, so I just stepped away completely from what I was doing and just like full throttle jumped in. Instagram was popping. I'm like, yo, we're gonna do these Teezy Tuesdays. So I started rapping like every Tuesday online, like just freestyling for like 5 years. And like literally every Tuesday for 5 years.
Doing like acapellas on beats?
It started acapella. Yeah. Because Instagram, remember, it grew in seconds. Remember, at first videos weren't like we didn't always have like first, right? It was pics. Then it was like 15-second.
Added some filters.
They did like 15-second vids, then 30-second vids, then they did like the minute, and now we just like we can put movies on that motherfucker.
Because I think right before Instagram was Vine, so people were all accustomed to the 6-second thing.
So they gave 15 seconds was like doubling up on Vine. So it was enough to like spit like a few bars. So at the same time I'm doing that, Damian Lillard. I'm a basketball fan. Like, you see that. So I follow him since he was in college, and he in the league now. And I'm like, he posting something like he rapping. I'm like, oh, damn, he rap too? Okay. I'm like, oh, shit, all right. So he had this joint called 4 Bar Friday, and he was encouraging rappers just to, like, post yourself rapping 4 bars and tag the joint, whatever. So I started doing it. And, like, it was a competition. I started winning that shit, like, every week. Like, for real. Like,
Damian Lillard's competition.
Yeah, like, winning it a lot of times. Like, it's like you can't go by without putting me up there.
What was like the prizes for that?
Man, so in 2012, he flew me and like 7 other artists from the competition. And at the time, the comp had like maybe like 10,000 people steady in it.
The competition had 10,000
like people
rappers
like all the time, like put in it
okay.
all the time. And he flew like 7, 8 of us down to New Orleans for All-Star Weekend when he competed, his first All-Star Weekend. Brought us down there, like let us perform with Manny Fresh on stage. Like Manny Fresh, we in Manny Fresh Club is in New Orleans. So it's the first week of Mardi Gras. It's NBA All-Star Weekend. Damian Lillard flies you down. DJ Manny Fresh is the DJ. You're in his club. like Juvenile's there. Like it's insane type junk. We get to rap like. So after that, we just stay locked in. I've done a lot of stuff with Dame. I got Dame on song, you know what I'm saying, on a song with me, like Rocky Roads on a remix. He did that joint for me. To this day, I feel like it's his best verse that he ever did on a feature. I've done a lot of stuff with him.
There. Were you the only person from Virginia?
Definitely. I was the only person. Matter of fact, Virginia, you know I love home, but home is always weird. When I was rapping every day, like on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, every Friday, Virginia was like, yo, why you always rapping online? Then I get flown down.
Now it's different.
And now it's different. Now everybody that rap in Virginia is like on 4 Bar Friday, like these people back then, it's 2012, 2013, they like, yo, I know Teezy. Like, bro, chill out. Like, y'all was asking me why I was rapping every Friday. Now you know me. You know what I'm saying? It was like weird stuff like that. But I definitely was like the first one in the 7-5. There were also some like DMB, a couple of like DMV, you know what I'm saying, type of Virginia joints. But in the 7-5, I was the first, like for a very long time doing that. Then a couple of others jumped on. One of my homies, Money, he did his thing there from the 7. He's a 4 Bar Friday, like, you know what I'm saying, vet. But 4 Bar Friday like opened up a lot. So I used to end up going out to, I don't even know how I ended in Portland the first time, but Dame Rap, his DJ caught wind of my music. Me and him, his DJ is also the Portland Trailblazers official DJ because he playing for Portland. So the DJ like, yo, let me play some of your music in the stadium. So I'm sending him music now. I'm not the first woman in the NBA, no. But now my music is playing in the NBA stadium. So yeah, to me that's like
close enough.
Close enough. Like you're flying me out to come perform I performed in front of the Motor Center for their festival. Like they had like a Black History Festival a couple of years ago. Say they brought me out there to perform, playing my music at halftime, spotlighting me, like on some stuff like people like are like, yo, that's your song? Like, cause they got to like join on me like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's featured by her. So the NBA, Dame, basketball in general has like never left because it's still like a lot of the stuff I do, it's so based off of the relationships from like NBA things that it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like just basketball in general is like Dame. After that, of course, like that whole thing helps you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how I got introduced to like Sway. Like, that's how I got introduced to Sway, to Rob Markman, to like Hit Boy and shit. Who else? Like Rhapsody, Heather B. Like,
by performing at these NBA events.
Like doing them online, in person, just him throwing an alley-oop, playing the music, doing records with me. He posts our stuff. Like he ain't shameful about that kind of stuff. Like we got records he'll post, you know what I'm saying? Like show love to the homie. If we drop something hard, he'll put it on his page. He done dropped me on his page a few times where, you know what I mean? And like that relationship has definitely been one where it is, it's helped like just being a loyal member of that community. It helped like a lot, you know what I mean? Like just grow a lot, So also actually before we get to that, I have a funny story about Damian Lillard. I have a kind of ongoing beef with him. It's not a real beef, but I bought the Damian Lillard Adidas. Okay.
In like 2018, the first time I went to New York, brand new pair, and I go to New York, I'm walking around a lot. Bro, that's the worst my feet ever hurt. I literally went to the mall, bought some Vans.
Which Dame's 2018? So that's the Dame. What,
it was, like, I forgot what they even looked like. They were black and red, maybe.
I'm trying to think of the number. Like that's Dame 2018. That's probably because he's still on Dame 9s, 10s now.
I was like, bro, if I ever meet Damian Lillard, I'm gonna be like, yo, I hate your shoes.
Hey man, look.
But
Dame,
I really went and bought
Adidas,
some Vans and gave them to like a homeless guy, like the shoes I had.
Well, they appreciated
it.
They appreciated it. Basketball shoes ain't meant for walking in though.
But they're meant for running in?
They're meant for playing in quick moments at a short amount of time. Not for running. Think about it.
I didn't break them in, so I was like,
that also plays because they're basketball shoes. They got to be broken in. But I don't recommend like basketball shoes for like walking long. Like when people be walking in like Jordan 1s, they don't wear those for a long time. You see people wear them for look. Your man's is even saying it. Like no, you don't. Basketball shoes are made for going quickly, abruptly to like break, like you said, breaking them in, then they mold to your feet, and then it's perfect. But like even as a hooper, whenever I got a new pair of shoes, I wear them in the house.
Break them in.
Yo, if you wear them in the house, you gotta play at practice a couple times in them joints, because if not, your feet hurting. So I wouldn't, I mean,
that was the worst my feet. I never felt that before in my life. That's why I still remember that. I'm like, bro, I literally felt like I had needles in my feet.
I will say that I play in Dames. I got a few of them joints. I wear Dames. They're very comfortable.
Yeah, don't take my word for it. I was just...
And you was walking in New York, so you was walking fast.
Yeah, walking for a long time.
Yeah, that was a lot. Like, that was like fast-paced, like mall, like middle-aged woman mall, speed walking.
So for this like 5 years, you're doing the Teezy Tuesdays and the 4-Bar Fridays. Are you not dropping like actual music? You're just doing
I got
these, like,
mixtapes
freestyles?
dropping. I've dropped a few mixtapes. I wasn't doing streaming yet, but I had like singles and stuff we was doing on SoundCloud, Audio Max, stuff like that. Then like around 2018 is when it like, so 2017 I had an eye surgery, right?
Okay.
I had a cornea transplant surgery where they literally took my cornea off.
What's the cornea?
The lens on the outside of like your whole mold where the color of your eye is.
Okay.
So I had this joint called keratoconus, and it's like I was for about 2.5, 3 years. I had no vision out of my right eye
At all.
I could only see like clouds of color out my right. I couldn't see anything specific. You know what I'm saying? Very sensitive to light. Like how I'm sitting here under this light right now. Back in those days, I couldn't do it. That's why I do keep shades on me all the time still, because I'm sensitive to like bright light, super bright light. But
was it only your right eye?
Only my right eye.
Okay.
So my left, and that was weird because nothing, like I wasn't injured. It's like two ways to get it. They say you either get it where it just happens to you and then eventually it happens to your left eye, or you have to have like an injury. And I had neither one. And to this day, I still haven't had it in my left eye, and I know I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I had that happen, and during that time frame, I just started like, I felt like when you got something big happening, you got two choices. You either soak in it or you make adjustments and figure out like how to like make sure you feel comfortable with doing something. I don't like doctors. I don't like surgery. That's not my thing.
Especially eye surgery.
So I was like
crazy.
nervous, bro.
Did they have to keep you awake for it?
No, they would put me to sleep, but I watched that movie awake before I did it. Like, I mean, that was the dumbest thing that I could do. Honestly, it was crazy. I've never told nobody that except for right now. I've never said this out loud. I watched Awake the night before I went to eye surgery.
Wait, which movie is that?
The one with, I think her name was Jessica Alba.
Like, what happens in it though?
She's having surgery. And they put her
they
to
think
sleep.
she's asleep, but she's actually
awake. It can hear and feel.
Oh, wow.
Like the person that can hear and feel and see everything. But they don't know you can.
You probably don't want to watch that going into
but
surgery.
Your subconscious is so awake. I don't know why I watched that, bro. But leading up to that, I was just already like, I don't want to soak in this injury. Like, so I changed a lot of my lifestyle. Like that's when I started my locks. I went plant-based. I just like really changed a lot in my life. And the surgery, after the surgery, I had to do a lot of recovery. Clearly, like eye surgery, you can't do a lot for a minute. That degree, I couldn't. I had to wear like a patch on my joint.
You had the patch.
Yo, patch.
How long was the recovery?
Oh man. Truthfully, it's supposed to be like a 3 to 5 year recovery.
Damn.
In like a real facet form where you're like in 3 years you can wear like the contact, because you got to wear like a hard contact and all this other stuff. It can be different for different people, but my recovery was very quick, and I know it was because I was smoking a lot of weed.
You think that helped?
And being plant-based. I know it did. It ain't, because I mean, weed is good for like, you know, they recommend that when you got eye issues. Anyway,
Yeah, for like, what is it, for cataract?
when I first found out I had it, I was getting these crazy headaches. That's what made me figure out something was wrong. Like my head was just like ringing. And I wasn't even smoking heavy at the time. I had stopped smoking heavy and was just like socially smoking. And I went out to Alaska to see my brother. My brother was living in Alaska at the time. And I go see him, and I'm telling him about these headaches. And his homie, like, Alaska got weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been legal for weed way before the rest of the United States was legal for weed.
Didn't you know that? Okay.
Yeah, they went on some, like, church and state type of thing a while ago. So
What do you mean by church and state?
like, you know, the government, the state can over-trump the federal if they form, like, their own, if you can, like, form your own way. You don't, like, everything they can overpower in certain ways, but state can form their own laws as well. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you can get the federal to agree, in a sense. You know what I mean? So Alaska been having weed legal for a very long time. Before Cali did, you could smoke in Alaska. And so when I go out there, it's just hella bud, and they're like, yo, smoke. It'll just probably take your headaches away.
And that's when you realize it was helping.
it was like, and before I even had surgery, like weed was the only thing that would make my headaches, like I could ease into my day. Before I even knew what was wrong with me, like I just knew that I was having these crazy headaches. But if I smoke, it won't that bad. But then after a while, I'm like, all right, let me go get this checked on. They're like, yo, you gotta get surgery. Boom. I get this eye surgery. Recovery is a long time. And I got a lot of time to think. And I'm getting better with the music. I'm getting more like attention. And now I'm like, all right, let me drop something for real. So I'm like, let me make an EP. You know what I'm saying? And make it about, in a sense, like the story of like, you know, like make it relevant to who I am now, not just making music. And I stopped cussing in my music for 10 years.
You started again though?
Yeah, hell yeah. So I stopped cussing from like 2008, 9 to like 19. Yeah, 2009 and 19. Because I was at the time and like, I was high listening to Rakim. And I'm like, yo, I don't think he cussing. I never realized like he wasn't cussing when he rapped, but it was always hard. Like it didn't feel like he won't, like the content wasn't like, you know what I'm saying?
And it felt like watered down.
Yeah,
or like friendly,
but it was just like, it didn't feel like, it was like no disrespect, but it won't like Will Smith.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. It won't like, it was like, yo, I never realized it. So I thought like, maybe I can like see what happens if I stop cussing. And when I did that, that was the best thing I could ever do. I was still cussing in my life, but in my music, I wouldn't curse. And it helped me grow a brand where everybody could listen to me. Like people didn't realize I wasn't cussing. I didn't change my content and the stories and stuff I wanted to talk about. I just didn't cuss. But people didn't realize I wasn't cussing. And people could play their music in front of their kids. That's when they realized I wasn't.
Somebody probably had a high moment just like you. Listening to
it was.
music,
I don't know if bro was high or not, but I know bro told me, he hit me and said, yo, I was listening to your music and I picked my kids up and I was about to turn it. And I was like, well, I'm going to wait and see. Like,
wait for the curse word.
Wait for a curse word. He's like, and I realized I got through your whole joint and didn't want a curse word. He's like, I didn't know that you didn't. I didn't even realize you didn't curse. You know what I'm saying? And so then once, like, you know, you take a screenshot of that, you post it out there because it's like kind of dope. I never wanted to be known as like a clean rapper, but I thought it was dope that somebody recognized it because I would never say it. You know what I'm saying? So after that helps your brand grow where now you can be played anywhere and people can feel comfortable listening to your music no matter what's going on because they know it's not going to be anything like derogatory in that way of that kind of like using vulgar language. So that helped a lot. Now, we get out of the eye surgery, and I'm just seeing the world.
Not to cut you off, but the eye surgery is after you get back from college. After
this
you
is
do
like
the
now
NBA
we skipped
with Damian Lillard.
This is like now we in like 2018.
Okay.
I think it was when I had this eye surgery, like either 2017 when I had this eye surgery. And while I'm recovering, man, I'm resting a lot, and you're thinking so. It's time to drop a project. And I've been going through a lot, and I was feeling balanced now, like during that recovery. And I was like, I'm going to make it called Equilibrium. You know what I'm saying? And so I just did an EP, and it was the first time I put out like an EP with like original music, original beats, all of that.
Which producers were you working with at the time?
At the time, I was working with like different various producers, man. I had some dudes from LA, dude from Philly. I don't even think anybody on that EP. I had one guy from the 7-5, Teddy. I don't even know if he's still doing music. But it was like, at the time, I was living in El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
I was in a previous marriage, and stationed out there, you know, military stuff. But I'm in El Paso, and so I'm working with a lot of different people. I'm going to different studios, all this kind of shit. And that's when I realized, like, I need to tell a different kind of story, so I started taking it a different kind of serious. Like, this is when, like, 2018 is when I said, all right, I'm going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hadn't, like, that's the only job I'd had since that time. Haven't done anything, like, even before that. Like, I still knew I was going to do it, but 2018 is when I was like, all right, we're going to figure this out.
Telling a different story. What story were you telling prior to that, I guess?
I feel like superficial. It was still dope and everything, but I don't know. I think that eye surgery allowed me to like see clearly. In one of the songs, I said that like I couldn't see for like 3 years, but it took an eye surgery to make me see it clear. And that was very literal, but also very metaphorical.
That's ironic as fuck.
Yeah, like it helped me see so much more. And also where I was living in El Paso. It's 92% Mexican, 8% other. Like everything, white, Hispanic, black, anything else. Like Asian,
8%.
Other, like any kind of other Hispanic, not Mexican, like Puerto Rican, all that. We're all 8%. So, right, it's a whole different culture. Like I'm from Virginia. Like, what do you mean?
I feel like out here you do see a little bit of everybody.
But no, this is this is different. And everything, like you go in the store, it's in like the aisles are in Spanish and English. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that kind of culture. Like you can walk across the border when you live in El Paso.
I feel like it's in LA, it's like that too. It's like a lot of Spanish people out there.
Yeah, but not this way.
Okay.
I promise you it's not, because it's literally El Paso is the closest like city to Mexico.
Yeah,
it shares the border. The border is, and I've literally walked that border.
I think in El Paso, not to cut the story off, but it's like right now is they're dealing with like a lot of border crisis, right?
Right.
A lot of people coming over, like thousands.
And
of people
it was
a
a big deal, especially when Trump was in office, because I actually saw the fake fence they tried to start.
Were you living there when?
Yeah, I was living there when they was trying
Trump
to build
was
the fence. Like he was attempting
build a wall.
Yeah, it was like whatever. So they put up like a literal like this
little ass fence.
Like they were about to start doing another work. But it never broke ground. Don't let nobody lie to y'all, man. He lying to y'all. I was in that city.
He never built the wall.
That joint, nothing broke ground. Not a damn thing broke ground.
That was like the biggest thing he was running on.
Man, nothing happened.
We're going to build the wall.
Nothing happened, y'all. I was living in that city. But I promise you, I can't make it up. But living there, that city is beautiful. It's different from us because we're surrounded by water all the time. And now I was kind of going stir crazy because there's no water. There's not a beach in sight. You know what I'm saying?
We take it for granted out here.
We do. But I never did. I love the water. I would go to the water every day. That's why I wrote my music. So now it's a different way of living. And it's mountains everywhere. So I just start taking advantage of the mountains and the hills and the amount of things there. And being up high, you're already at a high altitude and you up high and you high at the same time. Smoking a lot of good weed out there, bro. I promise y'all, El Paso got some heat.
Alaska got heat. El Paso got heat.
Portland, I'll give you the places. Portland, of course, LA, we know that, right? But the places, y'all. Portland, Denver, El Paso, Alaska. Heat. Never disappointed.
VA got some heat now.
We do. But when I tell you,
like we have better weed than New York.
We do. I love home. We do. We actually do. Because I was in New York recently and it wasn't.
Everybody in New York says they have sour, but nobody has sour.
But when I tell y'all them 4 places, man, it's different out there.
So you're in El Paso.
And I'm high as hell.
You're making music out there.
And it's starting to make me feel different. It's like, yo, like what else can we talk about? So I start talking about more personal things, like telling my story, like things from childhood to now. Also still staying present and having fun, but like really realizing like it's power in expression. And like if you got a story, somebody else can relate to it. So I wanted to make my music more relatable. And that's what made me start cursing again, was because I started writing and the words were. This is also when I taught myself how to write. I never wrote. My whole rap career up until 2018, I had everything in my head. I never wrote anything down. Blame Jay-Z. He my favorite rapper. I learned he did that. And I'm like, nah, I want to do it too. You know what I'm saying? So in 2018, I was like, I want to do more than just write, like rap this way. I want to be a songwriter. So I was like, I got to teach myself how to write songs. So I started going outside and writing music outside. And that's when I felt like I became an artist. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back in Virginia, like the end of like 2019, I moved back home.
So you were working on, because I think your first project on platforms right now is like 2019. I think it's Unapologetic Queen.
Coming up on
so
a 5 year.
You were working on that in El Paso.
No, actually, Unapologetic Queen happened so quickly, man. So we come back home. I dropped Feel So Good as a single. I dropped The Pack, which is a mixed EP. That's the first like project on streaming. It's The Pack. It's an EP though. So the first album is Unapologetic Queen, but the first project is an EP called The Pack. But before that, I dropped a mixtape called The Forever Project, where that's what really it kind of snapped. I did all Virginia beats, like produced by all of that. Drop it on like SoundCloud and Audio Mac. throw some
Are you
videos
saying
out.
like just from Virginia producers or like famous
Virginia
songs
artists
from
too.
Virginia?
Like I had Virginia,
That you're like remixing.
So at this time I have original songs up there that are produced by Virginia producers. I have like covers, I guess, or just freestyles. A lot of freestyles over
like known beats.
just known beats from Virginia producers or Virginia artists. But everything up there was just Virginia, and we spelled forever with like the VA at the end, the Forever Project.
Forever, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I dropped that. And after that, like, I got some little videos going on it. So now the buzz is like, all right, I'm still doing the 4 bars of Teasy Tuesday. So I'm active.
Still doing this?
Yes, I'm active right now.
Okay.
We're active right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it every Tuesday and every Friday like I was for them first 5 years. I stopped when I got the eye surgery because I had to relax. My doctor's like, you can't be rapping all the time because that's straining in your eye. You got to let your new cornea heal. So I did I remember I pre-recorded a couple of joints to do like as the last ones. And so I just took a hiatus, and I'm plant-based, so I'm losing weight. I'm chilling. My hair growing, my locks going. So now I come back outside like, yo, I'm going to drop projects. So then Unapologetic Queen, in June of that year, I went to Charlotte, stayed for like a week or so, wrote some music, came back home, grabbed some more beats. And by the project was written in July. But we mixed it, mastered it, held it. I wanted to make sure I liked it, and we dropped it that November. So I wrote it in like 2 weeks. That whole project, it was 2 weeks.
So you wrote all the songs before you even recorded one of them?
Yep.
Okay, that's usually
not all of them. Not all of them. I wrote like the first 3, like in Charlotte, and had like hooks and ideas for many other ones. But then once I got like the first one that I really wrote was Purple Pen. That was the first song I wrote, and it was on accident. I thought I had writer's block, so I grabbed my journal to just like get out some thoughts while this beat was playing on loop. And I realized I was writing in cadence, like writing a rap. So when they say like, can I float a little bit, let out my soul a little bit for the beginning of that song, it's because I was talking to myself. Like that's how I talk to myself when I get in my journal, real like.
Trying to hype yourself up to write.
Like anything, like when I'm in my journal, like my personal journal, not just writing raps, like I talk to myself like do I have permission as myself to let out whatever's in my head? Like it's almost like a separation where I can
asking yourself for permission?
Yeah, because sometimes you're not even ready to talk about what's in your head yet with yourself. You're not ready to address it, and that can be overwhelming. Like in my personal opinion, like that's not a fact.
I don't know many people that have a personal journal. Do you still do that?
Yeah, very much. I'm not in there as much, but I found one the other day, and I wrote something in it after I found something. After I found it, I'm not active like every day. I need to get back to it. It's crazy you said that. I said that last week, so thanks. Now
so you drop Unapologetic Queen. That's November 2019. I want to ask you too. I think your newest album is Point to the Dope.
That was the last album.
Right?
Yep. So from 2019 to 2021, I dropped 1 mixtape, 2 EPs, 2 albums, about 50 features, and a couple of singles, right? And after that, I was like, all right, I got enough music now to just go out here and make a name for myself by letting people see me. So COVID happens, right? And everything is like, I drop a project a couple of months before COVID. I had all these plans. Like we did get one show off in that December where the band, it was fire. Like I performed the whole project top to bottom.
Right before COVID.
Right before COVID. So now top of the year, I got all these plans. I'm booked on like shows, about to go on like a tour. I'm putting a tour together. And then now, coronavirus. Right? So I'm like, oh no. But I always said, if I can get a bunch of people to hear me, that's gonna help me. And I used it. So everybody's at home. So I hop back on my Teasy Tuesdays heavy again. Hop back on my 4x Fridays heavy again. Dame is doing these ciphers with Genius, with Rob Markman. He's like, T, I need you on these. Rap on these. I'm rapping on these ciphers. The judges are people like Sway and Rhapsody. Provided beats by Hit Boy. So Hit Boy's in. We know we can throw the people in, like you doing like 2 people in or just adding people into the dang on lives or whatever. This one Instagram that you let people in the lives. So everybody's using Instagram.
What do you mean? They still do it, right?
Yeah, but it's like when it first happened, like during COVID is when
just started the
just started during COVID time with the collabo lives, right?
Okay.
So like now they're using it to the advantage. So they're like bringing people in the lives to critique the artists that just rap. So that's when I get linked in with Sway, because he like, yo, Teezy's crazy. Yo, Teezy, I need you to come to Bedroom Bars tonight. You know what I'm saying? Let me hop on with you. So I'm doing that. Then Sway letting me do it a couple times. Dame letting me take over the 4 Bar Friday whole page to do an all-women cypher. I'm building my brand. While everybody's at home, I'm taking advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing everything possible to keep their eyes on my page. It's working. So, boom. Basketball season come back around at the end. They go to the bubble. I'm getting connected. Like, I'm doing stuff on live with my DJ. Me and my DJ going live and performing for an hour and a half just to give people something. Yo, drop money in the cash app. We got to make money. You know what I'm saying? So, Dame does the same thing with his DJ. And then his DJ ended up finding out about me. And that's when I end up start going to, like, rocking with Portland. So now the world is open back up. Now the NBA playing your songs. Now you still building the brand. And I started going crazy after COVID. Like, after COVID, 2021 to 2022, I did 100 shows in 1 year.
All around the country.
All everywhere. Inside of Virginia, outside of Virginia. I'm not saying no. And I ain't gonna hold you. They were not all paid. I didn't care because I had a plan at that time. Like, I did want to be paid every show, and I tried. But if they act like they ain't have it, okay, cool.
What was like some memorable shows from that period?
Ooh. That was the first year I went to Portland. That was one of the most memorable things I did. It was a festival. Nobody knows me there. And I get to go in front of a bunch of people that don't know me and do music they don't know.
How'd that feel?
I love that shit. I don't like performing in front of people that know my music no more. I mean, I like it. I love it. I always love it because that was the goal, is to have shows where people knew your name and they could sing along. But I still love the shows where people don't know me.
Is that because it's a challenge or like what,
I don't think it's a challenge. I just love what I do. Performing is the best part of it to me. Like, the most important part. And I feel like that's where I get to do what Teezy do. And I really know that, like, it's not just me. Like, I'm heavy into my spirit, and I let God in, and I let God lead me when it comes to that performance thing. And I like seeing a stranger come up to me and say, "Yo, you changed my life." And that was when I went to Portland, the first time I performed, it was like 5 people that came to me and said, "You changed my life tonight." That changes your life. Your first time somewhere where nobody really know you, got a couple of homies in the city because y'all rapping on Dame joint, you know what I'm saying? But you got a couple of fans because they seen you at 4 Bar Friday, but they've never seen you rap your art or really hear your music for real.
Yeah.
And somebody tell you that you changed their life, that changed my life.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like the best feeling, because like we live in a world right now where it's like we're all online, we're getting these likes, comments from kind of people online, and it doesn't really hit the same as when somebody approaches you in real life.
And we're just out of COVID.
Yeah.
This is like the year right out of COVID, where now we're opening up. Like, we couldn't even do the show inside because of COVID restrictions. We had to do it outside. You know what I'm saying?
Did people have to wear masks outside?
Yeah, some people, they didn't have to, but some people we were still masked up. Like, I remember when I flew out there, I got the mask on the airplane. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think I went to Bosnia with the mask. Bro, it sucks. Wearing a mask on a plane, it's
not good. And also, I wear glasses. Like, I have contacts in. Yeah. So, you know, you don't really want to keep your contacts in on a plane. You want to be relaxed and sleep and all of that. You wear your glasses in the airport. Wearing your glasses and a mask, never good. You just feel like you can't breathe.
And also, I think now it's like a lot of scientists are coming out and saying the mask was just always bullshit.
Bro,
like,
you saw Fauci just said everything was bullshit?
Fauci, I think he just said that. I think he's going to court.
He just said that he made up the 6 feet rule and the mask on kids.
I think they're actually charging Fauci or something. I might be wrong about that, but he's like under heat for something.
Here's my thing.
Out that shit.
I'm going to tell you why. I feel like, and fuck it, we should all do this because we might all get went off this. Especially creatives. People, we all should. Like, think about everybody whose job was affected.
Bro, businesses shut down and went out of business and never returned. Was
affected, all because you telling me I got to keep people 6 feet apart and they got to wear a mask. And that shit was bullshit.
That, and also just simply not allowing you to open.
Because of all, and like, yo, and it's like, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but you think about when that shit happened, you saw a lot of things online about like, yo, this is just a government way of trying to like get rid of people, to try to like
they really try to silence people,
to try to get rid of people, to try to make more money, to close down businesses so they can get bought out. Because what happened right after COVID? A lot of the mom and pops got bought out by corporations.
Probably got bought out or literally just went
Or
under
they just,
and never
what I mean
returned.
by that is like the buildings where mom and pop was, it
Now there's
became a
something else.
corporation, like, you know what I'm saying, business. Like, and so it was like, those conspiracies were around right when we were living it. You can see it online. You'll see somebody randomly talking about it. And then now, 4 years later, we're finding out that, damn, we didn't have to do that.
What I really noticed in COVID times, maybe it's because at that time I was getting a little older and more conscious of what's going on. It was funny to me because all the things, like everybody, there was people in the media saying what it really was at that time. But they were like ostracized, and now you fast forward 4 or 5 years later, and now that's the mainstream. Now everybody's admitting it. Now that's what the talking point is. But it's like people have been telling us this.
But if we really look at it in a way of like how the government works, right, and how our, especially our country works, the person that was in office put that information out. They supported everything in a very full, wicked way. They supported it, right?
We just got blinded by the money.
Right.
For me, we just we
did.
get a little check, whatever.
But they
it's cool,
supported
do
it
what
in
y'all want.
hoping that bringing that back, even remember like maybe a few months ago, they tried to bring back the COVID scare. But if you think about it, the COVID scare came back around when it's talking about who's running for office. So it's to bring about that money again, to try to have something like we shutting this down, but we're going to run up these PPPs and this unemployment and all that. So it's part of, I think it was a part of the ploy. Like, I mean, before this music and all that, like I went to school for criminal justice and I studied a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's like, I thought I was going to be a lawyer and I realized I wasn't trying to be no lawyer.
What that boy J. Cole said, could have been a lawyer, but I made it rapping.
You know what I mean? Like that's like dead ass. So it's like, I studied it and I still love law. I still I'm heavy into like politics and like even with like I work with Creators for VA. I'm one of the board members on Creators for Virginia, and we doing a lot of politicking, trying to make sure we
Is
get
that
this.
with Keenly Keena?
Yep.
Is she on that?
Yep.
Because we actually have her and Delegate Jazz coming.
Yes, the Jackie. Yeah, she
Glass.
told me Keena is actually also me and her are both members of the Recording Academy.
Okay, well, I want to get into that too.
Yeah, and we're also like she got me in. To be honest, she was the person who wrote one of my recommendations, and outside of that, she's also my PR agent and my friend.
So you got a PR agent?
Yeah, man.
She's like, do not curse anymore.
Nah, I can cuss when I can cuss.
Yeah, we have so I got hip to well, actually just kind of end on the pandemic. It was definitely a curse. I mean, a lot of people died.
Right.
And it was a blessing in one hand.
It's what you got to do
it
with
gave
it.
you time to go inside and really just focus on you.
The duality,
and
right?
even with the money, I was on the unemployment for like a year or two.
Hey.
Without that money, I wouldn't have had this podcast. I started the podcast in 2020 at the height of the pandemic.
Exactly.
And with the money, I built this studio. I bought the equipment.
It was, and I lost
was a
people
blessing
during that.
in that
I know we all did. We all lost people during that time frame, and that joint was hard. But
I'll be honest, I didn't. So
you didn't. Well, God bless
Thank
to
God,
you.
yeah.
I lost a couple people during that time frame. You know what I mean? And it was, and so it was definitely like difficult. But for me, it was like again another like light bulb. We here. You living. What you gonna do with it? So, I mean, I took advantage of it. I did everything online. When they started opening us up to do small shows, I started getting myself booked to, like, do, because now we outside. So, like, everybody got a cookout or a little party in the back or a little all right, let me do them. I'm taking these joints to keep my name going. And that's how that whole year of performing without saying no started, because I was like, I'll do this for a year. If I can do this for a year, I'll build my brand. And it worked. So, from 21 to 22, I do that. And then 22, I started running it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started getting bigger shows. I did the 420-ish festival. I started, like, the brand is going crazy. We dropping, like, I'm working with different artists. I dropped a single called Lemon Tree.
I think that's your newest release.
That's the last release. I haven't dropped.
That's like 2022.
Yeah, 2022 was the last, and it was intentional, like, very much. It was like, I did all this to 2021. In 2022, I gave it one single. And that point was to do a push for something. Because people got to realize, too, nothing is old. All that music I dropped in that time frame, it took until 2022 for Purple Pen, the first song that was written for Unapologetic Queen, to pop off. It started popping so much that I shot a video for it in 2022. And
Like 4 years later.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, literally 3 years later, I shot a video for it. That song took off then. It got on the radio in 2023. Like, so sometimes, like, artists, you ain't gotta let the streaming game, again, the benefit of it. The benefit of it is that now you don't have to reprint a project to get it out there. It's just there, and people can get hip. How many times now are you like listening to music randomly and it's on shuffle? You find an artist that you never heard, you hear this song, you think it's new, you go to that joint to download it, and you realize it came out in 2018. And it's like, it's new to you. So nothing is like ever old. It's always new to somebody else, and that became the motto.
What I will say on that though is that's if you make timeless music. Now some people get caught up in trends, and they copy the trends, and the trend, if that gets old, then that.
I am TeezySoDope, but TeezySoDope was named by the people. That was my Twitter name. I put it as my Twitter name. Just I liked it, as a vibe. But my rap name was Timeless Tees. Timeless Tees. You dig what I'm saying? So that that's still a moniker. Like you'll see it. Like people will still be like, "Yo, Timeless," or like people that knew me from back then. They still hold on to that name. But that was the reason I even named myself that when I did, because I had many rap names. But when I named myself that, it was because, we gonna stay forever. We wanted to stay forever, and that's what Unapologetic Queen intention was. I listened to Miseducation of Lauryn Hill a lot before I made that album, because that's like my favorite album of all time. And I was like, I want something that feel like this, where any time of day, year, moment, like she just got #1 album of all time. So I was like, thank you for that, because now I know I did the right thing with Unapologetic Queen, because I literally listened to that, was inspired by that. And that joint now is still, like, songs off of that still take off in its own way. Like, every now and again, it'll be the lead. Something from that will always be the lead in my, like, always view joints. You know what I'm saying? I can't perform anywhere without doing at least one song off that album. Or people are like, yo, you not doing Love Fiend? Yo, you not doing Purple Pen? Like, if I don't do one of those 2 songs on a set, man, I be looking like I'm about to get hit. Like, the fans go crazy at me. Like,
also I think on your newest project, the Point to the Dope, right?
That was produced by Point Guard and Eileen Roswell.
On the intro, I don't know who those women were, but they were kind of talking about the
State
challenges of being a female rapper and stuff like that. What do you think about female rap right now? I feel like it's kind of at the biggest place it's ever been. Yeah,
I fucking love it. I'm always been an artist that listens to all styles of music. Like, from in hip hop, there are very different facets of it. You know what I mean? And I love all genres of music outside of hip hop as well. I've always felt like the issue with female and women rap was that they only wanted one style to be what represents women rap.
The fans or the industry?
The industry. And the industry forces what the fans will ever see. You dig what I'm saying?
Side note on that, they say, like, don't worry about the customer, because the customer doesn't know what they want.
The customer don't know what they want until you
give
it to them. And so the industry was giving a certain style to back. There were always every style of woman, the same way it is with guys. Like, if you think about it, in hip hop and rap, when you talk about like the top 10, top 5, whatever, you will hear like 3 different styles of rappers named. Like, you'll hear the Kendricks and Coles, but you're going to hear the Future and the Lil Baby. You're going to, you know what I'm saying? You still going to hear Jay-Z name. You're going to hear so many styles of rap, and they all can be accepted together as rap, as hip-hop. But with women, it's like you only wanted one style to be the lead. And now we're at a point where, it's getting busy. Like, you got the point right now, I feel like the only thing that can happen that I would love to see is, like, the backing of the Teezys, the Rhapsodies, the Chicas, the Lady Londons, in the same way that you're pushing the Cardis, Glow, Meg, because I fuck with all of it. Trust me, like, I listen to Glow album, so her mixtape. Yeah, so I fuck Glow a Leo, man. I'm a Leo, yeah. So that Leo energy.
Larry really loves Glow too. I don't know if you know who Larry is.
Larry, yeah, I rock with Larry. I seen Larry out and about a few times, just randomly posted. You know what I'm saying?
That's also like what you're saying. Like, right now, there is, I guess, the mainstream female rap is that one style right now.
It's the one style.
Sexy Red, Lotto, Glow.
Yeah, and I love all of them. Like, I promise, I listen to every one of them. But I want to see, and I'm not just saying it for my sake, but just for hip hop's sake. I listen to like Moo Fresh, who she coming out here to perform like Juneteenth festival type joint, and like these artists are crazy. They're backed by hip hop men. Like Moo can go anywhere. She got records with Common, with Roots Crew, all of that. You know, Rhapsody is going crazy. Just dropped the album and it's stupid, and signed by Ninth Wonder, backed by Rock Nation, and doing it. But I want to see that radio do that. I want to see these Rap Caviars and these Revolts and these people the Shade Rooms post what Rhapsody was just doing on her story too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you gotta just post their music, nah, but they're doing everything online that every other artist doing online. Blow up the stuff that they putting online too, to let people know there are a lot of different styles, because that's still the comments. I got tagged in a comment today under a post where it was they were saying who's the big three of women.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it. It was a bunch of swipes. Yeah, it was and it was I think it was a Rap Caviar joint. It was who's the big three of women, and each swipe had three women. And it was Cardi, Meg, and Glow. Then this one with Nicki, Ice, and Lotto. And then it's different ones. And then they had one with Sexy Red, somebody, and Rhapsody on it, and everybody went crazy yo, don't disrespect rap. Thank y'all for putting rap up here on this list. But how about you put more women like Rhapsody in her swipe, so that way people can be introduced to more women like Rhapsody, instead of just having Rhapsody in between two people that the people that listen to those two people have no idea for real who Rhapsody is. And somebody commented, a person that was just a follower of me was at TeezySoDope would have fit in that. And I was damn, that's lit. You know what I'm saying?
I know you said you love their style of music, Sexy Red, stuff like that. What do you think about the people that say, because a few people actually told me this recently, and I'm just interested in what you think. What do you think about the people that say that Sexy Red and that style of female rap is destructive to the black community? Or, have you heard this talking point?
Yeah. Of course. And to that point, I'd say, was Uchiwali destructive to the community? Was Uncle Luke destructive to the community? Was 3-6? And I'm naming everybody that I'm naming just now. I listened to that too, and I love it. And it didn't destruct me. I grew up in the era of listening to hip hop before it had to be censored, where you could say certain words and that wasn't, you know what I'm saying? And nobody took that as destructive. But because women are free and being who they are, it's destructive? Bull. No, balance it.
So
instead of thinking it's destructive,
thing.
Balance it. If you feel like it's too much of that, throw me on the set with them. Throw Rhapsody on the set with them. Throw these other women that are in balance, because the thing that's different is with the men's side, they don't just have one style that you hear. You still hear after all the trap stuff that's going on, we are still trying to phase our minds out of saying OV ho right now. So it's with all the music, what Lil Baby doing, what he do, Gunna is actually taking off right this second with a whole different wave, starting to run it up. All these young new artists that's in the hip hop. You got Uzi still going crazy. You got all this. Drake and Kendrick can still have a beef that can make people tap into that type of music. And now Kendrick music is doing what online and all this stuff, right? Because it's okay for all of it to live. It doesn't oversaturate because all of it is still talked about. You dig what I'm saying?
But with women,
women, it's just this is all you get.
Ultimately a sexist thing.
I think it's a control thing. Yeah, I'll say sexist. Most of the powers that be are men. And most of them not even black men, and they're white men. And I hate to say that, but their ideal of what a black woman is and what should be as a rapper on a label doesn't truly represent what the majority of black women represent sometimes. And not saying that it's not anybody on a label is not right, because I tell you, I've listened to it all. But the beauty of being a black woman is that we're represented in so many facets. Sexy Red, Lotto, all that, Glow, they might that's, I got sisters and aunties and cousins that I grew up with, best friends and homies like that, you know what I'm saying? And the beauty of black women is that we don't even just chill in one facet. That's why the black women aren't really beefing. You got little sneaker, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna always be catty, but you'll see Cardi shout out a Rhapsody because we are always accepting to each other. And now that's what's overpowering it, is that this is the first time that Black women can support Black women through their platforms. And you getting people like Cardi speaking on names of women outside of what's the mainstream. Like, she's dropped names of artists consistently, and that's what it's gonna take. The next step for me is like, let's get some features. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get like
male features on this?
like the women. Like, I want to see different styles of women mixed together.
I think Lotto just posted a post the other day. She's doing the Sunday Service remix with, she said Meg, and then it was like a surprise person.
Right. So it's like, I would love to hear, like, I listen to Glow a lot, yo. I really like, I want to work with Glorilla. Like, I want to put Teezy and Glow together and see how that go. Like, that Glow and that Dope, that gonna go crazy.
Glow,
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, she swears she thick.
Yeah. Big Glow. Big Glow, man. That's that Leo energy, man. I'm trying to tell you, Leos, we be so sure of ourselves, man. Like, for real. Like, at all times, we so sure of it, man. And, like, I want to see that kind of mix. I want to see Cardi and Rhapsody do a record together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be hard. Like, let's mix it up a little bit. Like, the same way.
Throw some singers on there.
Yeah, like, even, and that's the thing. Like, we need that. I'm an artist, like, with me, I don't do a lot of features on my projects. Like, if you look at my stuff, I don't have a lot of features.
I think you'll have like one or two usually.
Yeah, like on Unapologetic Queen, there was not a male voice on it. Okay. I'm still trying to see if this is done anywhere else. But as of my knowledge and the research I've done, I have not seen a debut album by a woman without a male voice singing or rapping on it, ever. And on my album, I have no male voice rapping or singing. I have a couple of women features, but for a rap hip hop album for a woman, I've never seen it. Never. And I've done so many, I'll tell y'all, I've been doing so much research. I'm talking about like not a man just talking and saying like just hyping it up, like welcoming it. I haven't seen it by a solo woman. And like with no male features or nothing. And if it has happened, please correct me, y'all, I promise. And shout out to you, sis, because that to me is dope. And so I did that because I wanted to make sure like I showed that I didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got this on my own, for real. And the ultimate goal is like to have an all-women band. Like, I want my label to have all women. Like, I got my own situation. I'm starting a label, and like I got artists I'm working with, and I got one singer, she's a woman, and like I want to have all women. Like, I want to have multiple rappers on my label of women.
Different styles.
Yeah. Like, I don't want them to compete. I don't want it to be like this label got to have one woman on it, one woman rapper. Like, no, I want to have like a label full of women that just get along. All of my execs are women. All my A&Rs are women. My DJs are women. My producers are women. Like, I want to see how that feels and looks, because I work with women all the time.
President is a woman.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have so many facets of women friends. Like, all types of ages, like sexual orientations, you know what I'm saying? Even how some identify. And we all just vibe and have a good time, and like we build and grow. Like, my whole team is just women, like literally Black women. And my whole team, from my stylist to my management to my PR to my marketing, like my jeweler, like everybody's a woman around me. You know what I'm saying? My DJ, everybody a woman.
Who's your DJ?
DJ Chef Tro, man. She's the like Tro. She dope. We
actually have like a lot of female DJs out here.
Yeah, and I'm loving it. Like DJ Joe Froxy is one of my favorite
Froxy,
DJs.
All Natural.
Yo, okay.
Start.
Let me tell you a quick story about All Natural.
Okay.
She and I started. I met this kid when she was 12 years old. That's when I met All Natural. 11 or 12. She was a basketball player, and she played for my basketball team.
Were you coaching her?
Yes.
Okay.
And I had her playing up where she was like 11 and playing against 14-year-olds.
So she was like that.
Nice. As nice as she is on this DJing, she's like that on the court. And to this day, it's kind of my fault why she stopped playing. I was her coach. I took the time. I told you I was like, keep coaching or leave. She was on my team, the last kids I coach now. Well, we're doing like they're going to high school and all that. And last kids I coach. And I had the opportunity to go out for a coaching opportunity to be their coach. And I turned it down to just step into music. Okay. And so now she stopped playing ball when I stopped coaching.
Did she say that was because of you?
Yes, very much. You
Wow.
want my coach no more? I won't like it. There's other coaches that I was dealing with, and it just didn't feel right no more. I was good, but you made me love it. Like, you made me want to play. And went to college. I was proud. We stayed in contact. Me and her mom were friends well before I even coached her. We worked together. and cycle back, and I was able to have her like when she first started DJing, like, yo, let's do something together, and we hosted like an open mic together, and to see her now doing how she going crazy, full circle, and I'm glad that she stopped playing basketball and went to college and did everything and found, like, always loved music, but like did this. It's like, I'm glad that, we both.
Y'all kind of had a similar journey in that
very
way.
much. And like, and still we get the bump, like randomly I might be on a show, she there DJing, and I like, it's like, it's beautiful to see that. And like, she's one of my favorite DJs now. And it's like, she's one of my favorite point guards, and now she's one of my favorite DJs. And like, that's the beauty of it though. So women, we've been supporting each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's.
Yeah, we got her booked in the pod too, I think. Yeah.
Yo, she's so cool, man. Like, one of the coolest people.
I actually just met her for the first time because I've seen her online.
Bro,
but she was spinning at Gabe just spoke to the mayor like a couple weeks ago, and she was spinning there, and we actually have her booked in the pod. So like we spoke online.
So y'all already had her booked before you met her in person.
Yeah, and it hasn't happened yet, but we got her booked. And I come into the venue, I dap her up, or like I just say hey, but I didn't know that was her. And then, like, when I'm about to leave, I'm like, wait, are you all natural? She's like, yeah, blah, blah. So we, like, talk for a second.
That's dope.
She's cool, though.
But you be booking them out early. Like, I love that about you, man. Because, I mean, we had this on the book since, like, it was last year.
I do that kind of for my sake of mind, my peace of mind, because I feel like I don't want to just have to scramble to find next week's guest.
No, but
so that's just something I can just not think about booking.
Listen,
because right now we're kind of booked up to, like, November.
Look, my schedule is already booked out as far as, honestly, I already got a booking for next June. Like, of 2025 already on my schedule.
That's the way to do it. If you really want to get a lot done, you have to kind of schedule it out.
And I don't mind it. I remember when me and you talked, you was like, yo, I ain't got nothing to June. I was like, he was like, I remember you was like, yo, I ain't got nothing to June. And at the time, because I'm pretty sure, because it was like more like, I got something in June, but like, I'm pretty sure at that time, because this was a while ago, you probably was getting people that want to book.
I can't remember.
This is like, bro, I remember. I'm about to look at our text log.
It might have been in January.
But it was like the top. It was either like the end of last year or the top of this year type of situation. But I know you probably have people that want to book, and then when you give them a date, it's kind of
like people think I'm lying. When I say
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
and people probably be like, eh. So when you gave me the date, you kind of gave me the look like, hey. And I'm like, I gave you the like, oh, bro, that's actually perfect because I'm like really flooded right now. You was like, bet, let's lock it in. I'm like, yeah, dog, because like, I don't like pop-up stuff don't work for me right now. Like the schedule is.
I find that it's easier for me, and also it's easier for the guests because it gives them time to kind of mentally prepare for the pod. If I'm just like, yo, come through tomorrow, it's like, it's kind of,
and it also like give you time to get some work in too. Like if you haven't been as active as you would want to be to talk about
a release around that time or something.
And for me, like when we're talking about it, I haven't dropped music in a grip, but that was intentional because I wanted to be able to perform and do some things differently and build a business.
Yeah, we've been talking about music, like but you do things outside.
I do so much.
I wanted to ask you about the Grammy stuff. So you're a board advisor for the Recording Academy. That's the Grammys, right?
Also,
wait, what is that? What does a board advisor do? Because you're in the DC chapter. So what is the importance of these different chapters? What does that do? How does all that work?
All right, so here goes it. The Recording Academy is a nonprofit. The Grammys is simply an event that the nonprofit has every year. Okay. You dig what I'm saying?
You
know how
stuff outside the Grammys.
Outside of the Grammys, you have the Music Care program, Grammy U, where they allow younger artists and college artists to mentor with active artists. Like I'm a Grammy U mentor, so I got a mentee that goes to Howard University. There's so many things that the Recording Academy does, and I encourage people to actually go to it. Artists, DJs, producers, go to the website, check it out, look out, like, if it's something that interests you that you want to get into. For me, all right, so it's almost like a government in a sense. I don't want to call it the same, but, like, the chapters are, like, spread out for states and stuff like that, so regions. So our chapter is D.C., which is like Maryland, D.C., like Delaware, Virginia, North Carolina, I believe. And like you got like a Southwest region. You know, it's regions that make up the whole U.S. So they split it up in sectors. Our region's D.C. chapter, I got in 2023 through Keena, who we talked about. She was already a member, and she reached out to me. We were already doing work together, and she reached out to me and asked me, was it something I wanted to get into? Immediately a yes for me. Simply,
she's a board advisor too?
No, she was just a member at the time.
Okay.
So at the time she was a member, and our chapter, even though we're in the chapter, when Virginia is represented, it's the DMV part of Virginia. It's not so much of the 7-5 or Richmond area that's represented as much. So Keena got in at a time. She got in and they were like, yo, look, we're glad you're in because we're building that area in 7-5. We see you're in 7-5. We need to get more people that are professionals in the industry that we can get to become members. So she reached out to me, asked me what something I was into. I'm like, yeah, simply because I'm an artist, I'm a songwriter. My career is doing what it needs to do. I know people that are already in the academy. I already know about this. It was something I told myself I wanted to have done, you know what I'm saying, soon. I'm like, yo, I got to get to the Grammys. I want to be in the academy. And so I get in my membership in 2023. We started the process in 2022. I get in officially 2023. It's been dope, man. You get invited to a lot of different functions and like just a bunch of stuff. I expected to my first block party was last year. And I was like, this is crazy. And I'm learning as board members and all this stuff. I didn't even know about that aspect yet. And I went there and I'm like, I want to be a board member, yo. I said to my manager, like, yo, like, Meg, I want to be a board member. She's like, I don't even know. I don't know how that happens, but I want to do it. Then fast forward to now, at the end of 2023, top of this year, they reached out to me like, hey, we looking at you to be a board, you know what I'm saying, board advisor or governor, to try to get you a seat. You can, it's two ways of getting up there. You can run for getting a seat as a governor, or you can get appointed. I got appointed to a board advisor. So basically my job is just to help build our chapter and bridge that gap from the 7-5 and get that information from the 7-5 and build that region. We do a lot of stuff like Something in the Water. We had the brunch last year. We're bringing it back with Something in the Water.
What do you call that? The Grammys brunch?
Right, the next gen brunch. So like doing that, helping bring more recruits from our area. Like, so I've been talking to people around here like, look, y'all see me outside. Like, you see me go to the Grammys this year. Like, so that kind of helped a lot of people too. When they actually saw me go out there for Grammy week, now our area's like, yo, wait, so this is possible. Like, we can do it too. So my job is just to like help build, and I'm learning. Like, it just started, my term just started like 2 days ago. So we're going up tonight after your podcast for our block party. I'm hosting a block party tomorrow for the Recording Academy. So that's
DC,
dope.
right?
Yep, in DC. So it's like these type of opportunities, like this probably wouldn't happen if I wasn't a member and learning and meeting people and being able to share my art. So it was like, yeah, I'm an artist and I perform a lot, but I'm a host. I host a lot of events. Hosted my own festival, Teezy Fest, hosted Vibe Fest. I host a lot. Like, I just finished hosting before I came here. I was hosting at Phoebus High School. I go back to my old high school and host like their festivals. Like, we supposed to go to Heritage tomorrow, but on Friday. You in the Phoebus? Me too, bro. Like, what's up, man? Big fan of them. That's
also,
I
have a few more questions. I don't want to stop. Can we take a 1 second break so I use the bathroom?
Oh, for sure. I could use some water.
Guys. Right. We back. That coffee going crazy. So you left off at, like, so you were newly appointed as of 2 days ago.
Right, newly appointed. Like, I knew I got in a while ago, but I couldn't announce it. So I'm fresh into it as far as board advising. I'm gonna get to learn more about what I'm really gonna be doing, but I know a generalized way of speaking on it is just really bringing like advocacy to our area, blending that regional gap, like just to bring awareness to the 7-5. And I think that's the most important thing. Like, cause I love home. I love the crib. Like, some people don't like where they from. Even here, everybody want to leave. And I've left, and I think that's why I love it. It's because I have lived. When you went different places, you can always appreciate the crib. And I'm looking forward to really like bringing a light to our area, our artistry. Man, I was just talking about it online. Like, we have like some of the most diverse music artists, like even in one genre, right? Like, if you could pick any genre and you can find like 20 different artists that you can name and none of them are the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, you know, like you could, if somebody like name me some rappers, you can be like, bro, I can name you
80 rappers.
80 rappers right now, and none of them gonna give you the same thing, but all of them hard. Like, so it's like, I'm trying to make sure that we can become like the next like thing, the next city, the next area that takes that. And I think like $1 Million Baby and what Shabuzi doing right now, they're helping Virginia. A lot of people are over. I was just talking to my boy Tyler Donovan the other day.
We had like a 2.5 hour pod. We had a really fire pod.
That's my dog. Me and Tyler, we spend a lot of random time together, and we definitely just, he's one of them people that people don't realize.
He's a good guy.
You know how people, you're like really close to somebody and nobody knows it? Like we have a really, like as rappers, he's probably one of my closest rap homies, and nobody even knows it for real. And we were just talking about like how a lot of people are over the $1 Million Baby, over the Shabuzi songs. And I was like, bro, it's because they don't understand when something's global and like a world record, it's not going away no time soon. It takes
a second to reach everybody.
Yeah, it's still going. Like we got it first because we're here. So it was coming in our algorithms and all that. We're literally only a couple of hours away from, bro.
I'm hearing it on the radio now.
Yeah,
it's on random TikToks, random videos.
And bro, I was looking. This is when I know bro made it. I saw an Instagram video of like a middle-aged white woman like planting a flower in her like planting plants in her garden, and that was the song on the back.
Because that's a popping song at the time.
And I'm like, yo, you on? Because she don't even know what it is. She just went to the trending song, most trending song, and just was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick this song.
Shabuzi too. I was just talking about earlier, I think on live. I didn't know he had a song with, because he has the bar song that's going on. But first of all, I didn't even know that Miley Cyrus had a little sister.
Yes.
But he has a song called My Fault with her. I forgot her name now. I think is it Noah? What's her name?
I think it's no. I don't want to lie.
Something with an N, I think.
Right.
But that one might even be better than the bar song one to me.
Not only just that, like Shabuzi is on 2 songs on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album. Like this is Beyonce.
And it's crazy how I still. Doing all that, I still didn't get hip to him till the bar song.
Right. Yeah. But what happened was that Beyonce helped that bar song.
That was already out.
Oh, yeah, the Beyonce album came out before bar song. He very strategical. I'm pretty sure he was waiting for that Beyonce album to drop and then knew we're going to drop the next hit we got, we're going to drop. I'm pretty sure that, like, because, you already know when you're getting records out and all that. And all that stuff happened, like Beyonce, you got 2 records on the album. He's on 2 songs on her album.
Singing on it, right?
Yes.
Because I haven't heard that. I didn't know if he was a writer's credit or...
listen to it.
Okay.
So my favorite song, probably my favorite...
Are you talking about her, like, country album?
The country album. Okay. He on 2 of her songs. Like, he on Buckin' and the Sweet Honey joint. And those are, like, Sweet Honey is my favorite song on the project. And he's on that. And, like, the songs with... And not even on some hidden on the Beyonce joint. Like, you hear his voice before you hear Beyonce's voice on one of the songs. Type joint. So we got him from the crib, from Virginia. We got $1 Million Baby.
I think Shabuzi is from Woodbridge.
Woodbridge. They both from like.
Are they both from Woodbridge?
They both from like Woodbridge, bro.
Okay, yeah.
So their city is on right now. But like, we all need to hold on to that. Virginia need to be like, yo, we could be the next state. We could be the next thing. Like everybody yelling like Virginia because we had it.
What do you think we need? I know Jay-Z was like, one time Jay-Z said hip hop, or he said hip hop, but music in general, whatever. It doesn't exist in your city unless you have like 5 or 6 people popping.
Yes.
He's like, if you got 1 or 2, that's just like they're getting success, but it's not a city thing yet.
And that literally goes to like what I'm trying to do with this Recording Academy joint, man. I've always felt like I don't follow rules. I know it's a lot of gatekeeping, even in our crib, man. It's a lot of gatekeeping.
Even at these low levels, like
so, like. I'm able to like not deal with it as much now because of the blessings with my career that I'm in a different kind of like in the Virginia talk. I am like, I'm not trying to be funny, but I am in a different talk about like where I am in comparison. Like I don't subscribe to the local thing. Like you're not local because you live somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Well, with the internet, nobody's local.
Everybody
has the opportunity.
For the record, I really haven't been local because when I was first started dropping music, I was living in El Paso. No matter what, if I'm from Virginia.
Really El Paso local.
Yo, like to this day, my music goes crazier in El Paso than it does in Virginia. Really? Portland and El Paso are my first 2, like my top 2 cities.
The Mexicans in El Paso love you.
Bro, they love me. To this day, they're like, can you come back out here? And I've only done like 2 shows in El Paso, and I need to get back out there because I know it'll go up. But like, I don't really subscribe to that local thing. You know what I'm saying? I know, and I want artists to stop thinking that. Like, if your music is played outside of your area, you're no longer local. And I think what will help us is more togetherness as far as like knowing that you can go quickly far, you know what I'm saying? But if you really want to go far, it worked better together.
The way I've been really describing Virginia recently, like, you know how they say it's crabs in a bucket?
Yes.
I would say, first of all, that's probably everywhere. And
Factual.
I also wouldn't say that makes us any more like inherently haters or bad people. I just think it's simply because we're not eating it. So I've been using the analogy, like imagine there's famine and nobody in your neighborhood there's no food for you to eat. So it's hard to worry about your neighbor and what they're eating when you're not even eating yourself. You know what I mean?
This is perfect to describe exactly where I am right now. So we've talked about like all this stuff up to like 2022. 2023, I told you I did all them shows, like 100 of them joints for free, right? Like I would not all for free, but I was just like, I didn't say no. So in 2023, I started getting money for it. I didn't care. Like I wanted a certain price, but I always started my payment a certain way. Even when I first started, I was like, I want to get paid by the minute. Like when I perform, like I'm not dealing with your budget. So if your budget is this, however many minutes I can get in, and from what I pay for a minute is what I'm going to give you.
So you just cut the song like halfway?
I have done it, yes.
That's kind of funny. Yeah.
But I started like, so in 2023, the beginning of it, I was kind of like getting my bag up in a different way. Like now, let me state in 2021, even though I'm taking whatever at the crib, anytime I'm going out of state, they paying me. So that's what's helping me learn my value is because I'm starting to leave a lot. In 2022, I'm leaving more and I'm paid. I'm doing tours. I'm doing things. It's like I'm on D-Smoke tour, you know what I'm saying, with him and Damani. Like I'm doing things. So I'm seeing it differently now. So that's when I started saying like, all right, I'm about to run it up. So 2023, I didn't do a show without being paid. You know what I'm saying? Like not one show without a bag. And to this day, that's the standard. But now I'm at the point where I got a price, and if you can't pay the price, we're not even talking. Sorry. You dig what I'm saying? But I think that's what's going to help. And I'm not that person that does that and think I'm the only one. My goal is to, like, start a coalition. Like, I really have a plan to start a coalition for artists so I can be, like, an artist advocate. Like, bro, if you see me on these shows, they paying me. Straight up. So get your bag, too. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we build the value. When you said, like, we got to have 5 people in the city popping, we need 5 people that's running it up, getting their money, and letting artists know you can get paid too. Letting artists know if you have a value for yourself, it's okay to express it. Supporting one another. It's doing more collaborative shows where you get 3 of the hottest 5 people. Let's do a show together for the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love, like, I don't even want to like throw names out to try to box who's the hottest. But like I put the homies on shows. Like, you know, I got Bobby on my show. TZ Fest, I put all the homies on the show. I had Intellect, Kello, I don't want to miss people, but Intellect, Kello, Bobby, Day Cools, like singers, Chantel Diverse. I had Nat, I had Diamond Frost, Money. I had my Young Youth act up there. Like, bro, I know it's people I'm missing. I apologize, y'all. But TZ Fest, you can go to that page and see everybody's name. We've been smoking, yo. But I put everybody on the stage. When I do Grooves and Ganja, I put Scoozy on the show. I put, you know what I'm saying, Bobby on the show. I put Anna Monet, Paige Joyner on the show. I work with the fellas. I work with Vibrations Band. I work with Fortresses Band. I make sure I work with you. Like, I got songs with so many artists around Virginia. And it's like, that's what makes it different. It's not that I'm just popping. It's like, no, yo, come on, let's go. Like, let's do this together too. Like, what can I help you with? Like, and we got to do that more. We can't be in competition.
I think people, I forgot who said this, but they said that we kind of perverted the meaning of competition. I forgot how it went, but it's like originally competition, it wasn't actually, it's not one person loses, one person wins. It's both people get better. That's the point of competition. And we kind of, I feel like in our culture right now, we look at competition as somebody has to lose. And yeah, I don't think that's the way
I don't even believe in losses. L's are lessons. Most of my biggest blessings came from an L. You dig what I'm saying? When I was
eye surgery.
Like, boom. Now look what happened. When I'm telling you I'm online, I was on one of them competitions when I met Sway. It's like 16 people in the competition rapping. I'm in the finals against the dude. Personally, I know I bodied, bro. But they was saying they was going by like the comments, and by the time we started looking at him, we were seeing a lot of his name, but the top was a lot of Teezy names. I came in second place, but I was invited to rap. Sway said, "No, I want Teezy on my show tonight."
And he wasn't.
So, and by their standards, I lost. But that L, Sway, all them people that did that show, all them times I'm doing all of that, they voices are on my song Memorable Baby at the end. They talking about me. That's Sway, that's Rob Markman, that's Hit Boy, that's Damian Lillard, that's Rhapsody, that's Heather B. Those are the voices if you go to Memorable Baby. That's them talking about me. And
not to cut the story up, but while we on voices, who are the voices on the intro of Point to the Dope?
Oh man, it's a clip I think from like it's like various voices, but I believe it's like in that part it's a woman hip hop documentary. So I don't even want to cap about what part that part was. Point Guard did that.
What was the documentary?
It was I think it was a BET joint or something. I don't remember who did it, but a VH1 or something. But it was just like the state of the music and hip hop. I think this joint had dropped. It's back in the day, like it's an old joint.
I didn't want to cut the story up. Okay.
No, but I appreciate them kind of questions because nobody asks those kind of questions.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So please, you can always ask a random question about my music because those are the things to me that like people don't ask those stories about how things come together. You know what I'm saying? So. That's dope. But I feel like that's what we need, though, is like to put ourselves together more.
Get together more, value ourselves. Also, another thing, not even, I feel like I guess somebody I say it, but like, just because you're from Virginia, that's not like an entitlement that everybody has to support. I feel like you still have to earn it. Like you're saying, you went all these free shows, hundreds of free shows.
I'm so glad.
But it's like you have to be dope.
I'm glad.
That's still number one. I feel like you have to be a good person and you have to be dope.
I'm glad you asked me to tell this story the way that you asked me to tell it. So people, because a lot of people that are my fans now and like young artists that are meeting me from the crib, they looking at what I'm doing and they think that this shit happened overnight. I dropped my first mixtape in 2009. I just never stopped. I always knew what I was supposed to be doing. I just never stopped. That's the hardest, like the hardest thing to do is stop.
It's
like
not stop. Like
it's like it's to not stop. You know what I'm saying?
That's I feel like the hardest thing to do is probably get started.
Getting like that's first step, but like not stopping. Like just keep moving. Like it doesn't matter about the step you take, as long as you don't go backwards. So like for me, even if I take 7 large steps tomorrow, and on Sunday I get knocked back 3, I took 7 that one day when all I needed was just 1.
Like you stretch yourself too thin.
No, like I look at it like it's not an L. When people get knocked back, like they be like, damn, I just took 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, right? I get it. But that's why I look at it like the goal is just to take 1 step forward every day. And so it's 1 foot in front of the other at all time. We never, unless you jumping, but even when you jump, you're going to have to stop and rest.
You're hopping. Rolling,
you know what I'm saying?
Hop, roll, skip.
You're going to have to stop and rest now, and that person that's walking going to probably catch you. If you hopping, if you got to go the lifelong mile of life, if you're hopping or rolling or skipping, you're going to get fatigued and have to stop to rest.
So take it one step at a time.
But if you take 1 step at a time, you're good to go. Now, when you're taking your 1 step, some days you might feel good and you might take a lot of steps that day. So even if you did that day, if you had a day, if I took 10 steps that one day, like, you know, just metaphorically, all I needed to do was 1 step, but I took 10 that day. So now the next week, I get knocked back 3. I'm still up because that one day I took 10, bro. It's not really knocked back. I'm still ahead. Like, what are you talking about? We're in a profit margin.
Also, probably don't, like we said, don't wear brand new basketball shoes.
Don't wear brand new basketball shoes while you're taking those steps. I personally, I'm a Croc wearer in a day-to-day life, guys. Crocs holler at me. In that year when I did 100 shows, I wore Crocs every show.
That's fire. I feel like La Russell wears Crocs a lot.
I wore Crocs every show for 100 shows, bro. Like, just because they was comfy. And I was like, I'm about to do a lot of shows. I'm not about to spend all this money on new shoes and trying to get fly, like, in a different way, because I got expensive shoe taste. So I was like, yo, I like Crocs, and I like how they look when I wear regular clothes. So let me just, like, do that. You know what I'm saying?
Favorite shoe? Quick one.
Of all time, or just, like, in general?
I guess of all time.
Favorite shoe of all time? That's a good question. Hold on.
Crocs. Like,
it might end up being Crocs, bro.
For real.
Like, of all time. And I'm a sneakerhead, and I'm sitting here like, if I could only wear 1 shoe, because that's what when you ask me that
that's
favorite shoe of all time. That's kind of 2 different
questions.
I ask myself,
that's a cooler question, actually. If you had to wear 1 shoe, like, forever.
I have it already, the shoe I would wear.
The one you wear?
No, not these. I have a pair of Crocs. They black, but they like sturdy and they all like the clog ones, so they close in at the top and they got the weed joints all over them. Green weed joints all over it like leaves.
Come on.
I would wear those. I could wear those every day.
Okay.
I actually wore those at the 420th festival. It went crazy. Like everybody's like, that's intentional.
I don't think I went to that one. Hell yeah. I feel like I only have really one more question. Can I just wrap the Virginia thing up? I really do feel like 2024 is the year. All the artists that have really been putting in that work for years, and it feels like it hasn't been getting anywhere. It has. At the end of the day, for me personally, how I feel, no matter what success, any one thing I do gets, I feel like it's just preparing me for when it does come. I'm just every time I don't call it failing either, because every time something doesn't do what is like this big thing, it's just building my skill even more, sharpening my sword. So once it does come, you're actually prepared and you can hold it. You can hold that success and you can sustain it.
Exactly.
You know?
It's all about realizing there's no right or wrong, for real, when it comes to like your art and what you're doing. When you did fail or fail a lesson, it was because it didn't go as you expected.
And it's really, you don't even want to have expectations for real.
But that's exactly,
the best thing.
like the only thing in life is like when people feel like something wasn't right for them is because they feel like something they expected,
or they're comparing it to someone else or someone else did it.
That's their issue. It's not about if it wasn't right. It's like, I expected it to go this way and it didn't go how I expected. And I've been living off of that very, very hard for the past few years. But this year it's been in a whole different way. Like I had a random thing happen that like brought it to light. I was smoking in the car. You know, the night smokes be like that.
Yeah.
Smoking in the whip. And I was trying to hit a button on my dash and I hit a different button than I was supposed to hit. And I was like, what the fuck? But then I realized I didn't know that my car could do this cool thing and like turn my dash to like a whole like galaxy. But
what kind of car do you have?
A Honda.
I gotta see that.
Honda. It's just like the clock button like turns the whole shit to like different things. Okay. But I never ever hit my clock button ever in having that car because I can always see the time and the little things. So I never made the dash just go to clock. But I was trying to hit something else and my contacts was out. I had no glasses on, so I hit the wrong button. And when I saw it, even though I didn't get what I expected, I learned something that now I use a lot more. I don't even remember what button I was trying to hit because...
What's that? What they call that? Serendipity, I think?
Yeah.
Like an unknown good thing kind of happens. And so my mom always said that too. Like she's like... Because I'm like always hyper focused and like obsessed with this, like trying to make this work. And she's like, it's going to happen when you stop thinking about it.
Everything that has ever happened in this career for me was merely me saying it out loud. Literally saying it out loud when I'm closest to God and feel that God is present and then letting it go. And then it just like you said, the Recording Academy shit. I went to the party and said, man, I want to be a board member. And then the next year they're like, hey, we want you to be a board member. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say it. But I didn't do any work towards it. I just kept doing the work towards...
That you were already doing.
Exactly. I didn't try to, like, hyper-focus on that one thing. I just hyper-focus on being in the world that I want to be in, however it comes. And that comes with, like, you mentioned, like, I haven't dropped music in a while. It's because I wanted to build my brand. I started TeezySoDope Studios, where now I'm helping other artists. I'm writing coaching, performance coaching, creative direction, A&R. I'm producing events. You know, I'm in the schools. I'm working with kids, helping them create music. I'm hosting more events, like crazy type of events. But all of these things help my music. So all of that work I did in all that time is still living, running up, getting numbers while I'm still writing music, because music is coming out very soon, guys. Like, I have the project. It's been done. I'm just being teasy, and I like to hold things and make sure it's perfect by my standards. I want to make sure I want to listen to it in 20 years. And by that I mean the background musicianship and shit, you know what I mean? But like,
we do like exclusive shit up here, so if you want to say anything exclusive about the album, feel free to.
The project, I will say this, the project that I'm dropping will be the best project I've dropped to date, for sure. The sounds are immaculate. Like, I didn't grow up, like, I came up in a lot of different styles of hip hop, and a lot of people, depending on where you see me, that's what you think I am. So if you see me at like an outside festival, I'm going to be nice because kids are going to be there. I'm going to do songs that are all general. If you see me in a club, I'm going to be lit. If we at the bunker or something and I'm performing, I'm going to do a whole different set. But this project is encompassing of all I am as far as like the sounds I'm inspired by, from the Southern music to the Western music to opera music to like just, I love music. So it's like a wild type of vibe, but it's the best music I've created because I'm in my highest self that I've been. So it's like that. And I've been waiting, I think, until I felt like, I always feel like my music is ahead of its time. I learned that, like we was talking about the 3 years for it dropping. So with learning that your music is ahead of its curve, at some point you gotta match it. Like make it match. And the reason that it's ahead is because sometimes I write and I'm not even who I am then. I listen to my music and be like, how the fuck did I write that then? Because I'm that person now. I wasn't who I was when I wrote that. Like I don't even know how I came up with that shit. I didn't even know that. I didn't even understand. Some of the stuff I say, I didn't even understand it into the degree of the true meaning.
That's
now.
like, I feel like I go through similar things like that. And I think it's because when you're creating, you're almost tapping into this like subconscious version of yourself that's actually is ahead.
It's ahead of who you
where
are.
you are consciously. So then you kind of catch up.
Right.
Those, like you said, those things
and
start
so
lining
this
up.
music, I wanted to make sure I held it a little bit of time so that way who I am in the present can be, even if it's not all the way there, the people gonna feel it all the way there. Like it's gonna match in such a way that it's gonna be so big. Like one of the songs I probably drop as a lead, I probably drop it as a single first. I've been debating it, but if I say it, I gotta do it. So Better Goat, it's probably one of the best written songs I've ever done in my life. And the way that I speak on myself by not ever speaking down on others and how I talk my shit, it's gonna inspire everybody. Like that's the record that like, if motherfucker trying to test you, anybody, no matter what you doing in life, if you just need to remember who the fuck you are, it'll be that song for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And
Better Goat.
Better Goat. But I'm spelling it like B-E-T and then cap. All my songs are like one word, like how my name is. I don't know if you noticed that.
I noticed that, yeah.
It's all one word. Everything I do, I make it a hyperbole of something I'm inspired by. I love Music Soul Child. His name was one word. His albums used to be like, his songs was like one word, but it was weird because I couldn't understand them all. But I uppercase the letters so people can read it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I was like, music, bro, used to have me confused. But thank you for that, bro. You inspired me. But Better Goat is B-E-T-H-E-R and then G-O-A-T. So it's Better Goat, but it's also like bet her goat. You know what I'm saying? Bet she the goat. You know what I'm saying? You can bet that she'll be the GOAT. You know what I mean? So I talk that shit. I'll send it to you early because I talked about it on your joint. You get it early, I promise.
Definitely excited to hear that. Last question I really have was, what was your involvement with the Hoop Bus? Because I wasn't really hip to that, but I went and watched, like, they have a video on YouTube that's kind of explaining what they do.
Yeah.
What was your involvement with that?
Again, basketball is always going to be present. It really all goes back real life, 4 Bar Friday. Doing 4 Bar Friday, gaining fans and supporters. Met a chick named Stacy who's a super supporter of mine. She from LA, like out there in the Bay.
Yeah, I think that they said it started in LA, right?
Yeah, it's a LA, like either LA or Oakland, one of the two. I can't remember.
Oakland, actually.
I believe it's Oakland though. But Stacy from out there, out in Oakland. And she reached out to me. She reaches out to me for various random things. She just showed love. But she reached out to me and was like, yo, Hoop Bus, I'm a fan of Hoop Bus. I already knew who it was. I already know about the organization as a basketball player. And she was like, yo, Hoop Bus gonna be in DC doing work for the Washington Mystics. It was draft week for the WNBA, you know what I mean? So she's like, yo, and they're looking for somebody to host the bus out on that side. You know, we got buses and at the time it's Venice Basketball Week too. So they got buses and that is NBA.
Oh, so they have multiple buses.
They have multiple buses.
I guess just for people that don't know, this is what I know about it. You could probably explain it better. But it's a bus that had a hoop on it. They went around to different cities and across the country, and I think it was around like the George Floyd protests.
Yep.
So they were like going for that cause, like the Black Lives Matter cause, and they were like fixing up courts in communities. They were bringing people out, kind of just to rally around, build a community around that, and have conversations.
The creators
around basketball
quit their job, bought a bus, renovated it, and started driving it across the U.S. to do what they're doing. And now it's grown to multiple buses that travel in regions in the U.S. and utilize different large entities. Like they called me up to go work with the WNBA Mystics because it was draft week. And they were having like a fan fest and Hoop Bus was going to be out there doing activations. And they hop on the call. I'm like, yeah, I love it. Because like I said, my goal was already to get to work with a W. So it's like I said, you just keep doing the work. You say what you want to do, you keep doing the work, and it'll pop up right for you. Your mom isn't lying, bro. You hear me? So I had mentioned a year ahead of that time, maybe 2 years. I got to get to the W for real. Like, if women support the sport and you're a woman rapper, it'll help build it the same way men support the sport. You dig what I'm saying?
It's crazy because I feel like this podcast, even more than the viral moments and like the stuff I've been seeing about the W, as you say, I feel like it made me want to watch the W now.
Bro, I'm going to say, matter of fact, man.
This might be the greatest promo for the W ever.
Listen, I'm trying. Girl, right? Holla at me, bro. I got something for y'all, I promise.
You could be a board advisor for the W.
You know, like, dog, I got plenty of plans. Like, I got ideas, guys. Holla at me for real, I promise. We can do some
so
work.
the album's on the way.
So, album on the way.
Single might be.
Single gonna come.
Better Go.
Better Go is gonna be the single. I gotta drop a single first because I chilled too long. I don't want to just drop a project. I took a long time, so I gotta give a single.
Video too, drop video with it.
For sure.
Maybe? Okay.
Yeah, the treatment for that Better Go.
Wait, is the video shot already?
No, but the treatment is already created.
Okay.
Which is just like the written work of what we're gonna do for the video.
Come
on. So that's written, and it's gonna go crazy, man. So we got music dropping. We're hosting. The June schedule's crazy.
You have like a lot of shows in June.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow. You say tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm in. We leaving tonight. We leaving to go to DC for the Recording Academy hosting. Like right after this, we're going up.
Yep, that's on the 6th.
Yep, and then I don't even got like some of the stuff
on the 15th. You're gonna be at the Urban League Juneteenth Festival. On the 19th, you'll be at the Juneteenth on the beach, 24th Street. That's Virginia Beach.
Yep.
So you got 2 on the 22nd.
Yep, 2 on the 22nd.
Also, you'll be on the 22nd. You'll be at Capture the World Festival.
Capture the World Festival.
I haven't even heard about these festivals.
So I got Hampton Roads Pride Fest early that day, and then I headlined Capture the World Fest in Hampton that evening. And then the 27th is a huge show. We got the Oceanfront live on Atlantic. We got 4 hours, 17th Street, right beside Dairy Queen. I got 4 hours with my band. Jeez. It's gonna go crazy. Vibration so dope. Me and my band, straight 4 hours of us. I mean, we got a couple breaks in between where we'll play like some music, but nobody else. It's just me and my band. When it's a break, it's just gonna be a playlist going. And then the day I leave right after that, like at the next Rising for LA.
On the 28th, you're gonna be at
Payday, LA, BT Showcase joint or BT Awards weekend.
Come on.
And then we come right back at it like July. We got July 6th in the daytime. We got the block party in Portsmouth, and we got R&B block party at the Scope that night. So yeah, we outside. Outside is the word.
We outside. Hell yeah. I appreciate you for this. Is there anything else you want to touch on? Anything else you want to leave the people with?
Bro. I mean, everything is everything. I'm appreciating this. Off the World is great. Larry been cooling.
Come on,
you know
Larry in the cut. He on TikTok right now.
Like literally, Larry probably got some.
I don't know if he thought he was like recording you, but he's just on TikTok.
Okay, he on TikTok. I didn't know what he was doing. Like I saw him on the phone the whole time, but I didn't know.
Come on.
But yeah, everything is everything. If you want to rock with me, look, I don't press that follow and shit. I really don't. I just tell people, remember me. When you think of like dope energy, dope vibes, a dope performer, dope writer, dope human, just remember me. TeezySoDope. That's it. TeezySoDope, all one word, baby. You feel me? And I appreciate y'all, bro.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. All her links will definitely be in the description, so tap in. She has a post on her Instagram right now with like all her June dates, so you can check that out. Yeah.
That's
See y'all
it.
soon.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Peace.